Hi, I'm Christine.
And I'm Theresa, and we're from Aurora, Colorado.
This is our family album, and we're here to talk about civil unions and why they're important to families like ours.
Can you talk about your celebration a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, we had a commitment ceremony, and it was great. It was a great recognition from our friends, and to have that support from friends and family. And I think that there's this myth that out there that says that if you're gay, you only have gay friends. Therefore, if you have a commitment ceremony, you're only going to have gay friends that are there. You know, with our situation, it wasn't that at all. I would say that it was probably a good half-half mix of gay and straight people. It was co-workers, it was, you know, friends from across the country, it was family members that are straight, it was gay friends, it was straight friends. I think that the hard thing is that as much as we've made that commitment, that we legally weren't able to do that. And there's part of us where that doesn't really matter, the legal part, but in the end it really does matter.
There's all kinds of things that we need to do and put into place because we don't have any way to get a marriage license, say, or something like that.
Can you talk about the cost of hiring a lawyer to put in place a lot of the protections that automatically come with a marriage certificate or a civil union?
Sure, we have put in some protections in place already, the ones that we can for free, but we don't have the money right now to go to a lawyer to put in place these kinds of things that are automatically granted to heterosexual couples when they marry. We've really talked about it. We need to do that. We need to save up some money and go see a lawyer.
And the cost is fairly high. I mean, it's not like I got a traffic ticket and I need to hire a lawyer because I don't think I was guilty of it. It's a thousands of dollar expense. So, and I think that the hard thing is when you talk about civil unions, that civil unions versus marriage is that's another one of those things that's not thought about. It's one of those things that most people don't think they have to do to put in place. They don't think about having to hire a lawyer, spend thousands of dollars to put things in place like estate planning, when it's just a given that if you are a heterosexual couple getting married, that it's just in place automatically.
Do you guys ever worry about, something happening to one of you and having to carry all these legal forms around with you and whip them out in order to get access to, a hospital room or something like that?
It's kind of a pain to have to do that, but essentially we do. I mean, like tomorrow if Christine were in an accident, I would have to have that paperwork to be able to go to the hospital, just to prove that I'm the one that's supposed to be making those decisions because she's not able to. So it's hard. It's hard to think about that stuff. And it's hard knowing that we have to do that, because I know my twin brother, who's a straight guy who's married, doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to whip out a bunch of papers and say, I'm the one who gets to make these decisions.
We're traveling on our honeymoon in 2 days, and we'll probably take some of that paperwork with us just in case something happens. And we do need to prove, in another state, that we have these things in place.
One of the things that happened with my previous relationship is that we were together for 8 years, and she ended the relationship. She decided after 8 years or so that she was no longer gay. God was telling her she wasn't going to be gay anymore. The glitch for me is that in that 8-year relationship, I became the primary parent to her biological son, and as a result of the breakup, she refuses to allow me to have any kind of contact or visitation with her son. But I think the difficulty is that had there been even a civil union in place, that there would have been some kind of legal standing for me to really push the visitation issue and set aside her religious views about whether or not I could see the child. So that's been something that's been really, really difficult for me.
Are you worried about your family not wanting, if something were to happen to you, are you worried about your family not wanting to honor the contracts you've made?
I think I'm worried about her family doing that, even though they've reassured her that that won't happen. I think there's a little fear inside of me that is concerned that, if something happens with Christine, that they're going to come in and bulldoze their way through and, take her home or try to make medical decisions when they're not even aware of what Christine's wishes are. Those kinds of concerns are huge for me.
I have concerns with her family in the same situation as well, and that is a lot of stuff that's up in the air, and you put legal protections into place and you really hope for the best, and depending on the family, depending on where they're coming from, that's really what decides whether things are going to get legally challenged, whether you can make end-of-life decisions for your loved ones, that sort of thing. one of the things I notice, because I'm self-employed and I work with all kinds of different people all around the Denver metro area, is that we're treated like the couple that we are. We're treated just the same as our married straight counterparts. And, you know, I've never had an issue with anybody with this in this area. I've never, I have friends who support us. It seems like, you know, most people I know support some kind of legal recognition for people like us. It's just...
It's the government that doesn't want to recognize it.
They need to catch up.
If you got a civil union, would that be any sort of attack on marriage?
No.
I don't think so.
It wouldn't be an attack on marriage. A marriage in the sense like an attack on straight marriages?
Yes,
How things are established now?
those poor delicate straight marriages.
No, it wouldn't be an attack on them. I don't understand how it would even affect them. I mean, I don't think that giving us rights that we should be afforded would affect what their marriage looks like.
It's not like we're taking rights away from heterosexual married people and giving them to ourselves. It's something that we just, you know, would like and be on the same level as our straight friends who are able to get married and are able to have these legal protections.
People always talk about the gay agenda thing, and our big agenda really, I mean, if this is what the gay agenda is, it's us coming home in the evening and discussing what to make for dinner and sitting down and watching a movie. I don't know.
Feeding the cats.
Feeding the cats, and I mean, I think it's just
cleaning up hairballs. That's our big gay agenda.
That's the extent of it.
And I think, you know, in many ways, we're just like our neighbors. They do the same things. They want the same things for their family, and, you know, as we want. And we hold the same values and, you know, value our committed relationships. We value families and our family relationships. So, you know, there's not this big difference between us and our neighbors next door. I think at the end of the day, what I really want is to take care of Theresa.
And I want to take care of Christine. And I think we want to be a family. And I think we want that recognized, and we want the rights that every family should be afforded.